Welcome to Fantasy Audiobook, Born with a Pair of Hook Jade Rinnegan. Chapter 31. Seeing Itachi's expression became firm, Shisui smiled and said, "Well, I'm glad you can understand what's in your heart. Uchiha is the most powerful clan in the world. The greater the ability, the greater the responsibility we shoulder. World peace should start with us. So, Konoha, where we are, must not cause turmoil because of the Uchiha clan. We will use the power we have to change all this." Yeah, Uchiha Itachi nodded emphatically. He agrees with Shisui's words very much. Uchiha owns the Sharingan, the most powerful clan in the world. A Sharingan who can read people's hearts. A Sharingan that can see the future. Is the most powerful force in this world. So, Uchiha shoulders the greatest responsibility too. Peace in the world should start from Uchiha. Uchiha and Konoha must not break out into conflict. Otherwise, without the power of Uchiha, peace will be harder to come to this world. Back home, sitting on the roof, savoring the plate of snacks made by Gaiwu. Silent communication. This kind of communication directly points to one's own inner contradictions. Really good. Allow yourself to see the future. My heart is no longer confused. Have a real idea of your own for the future. All this was obtained in 2 silent exchanges with Gaiwu. Without these 2 silent exchanges, I should be like Shisui, who believes in the will of fire. You can sacrifice everything for the will of fire. We'll do the same thing as Shisui. Use the Uchiha clan to fulfill what Konoha High Level wants to do. Gaiwu is really a magical boy. He has no Sharingan, just a very normal guy. The strength in his heart is much stronger than that of himself, a member of the Uchiha tribe. If only someone like him owned a pair of Sharingan. If he's from the Uchiha clan, under his leadership, Uchiha will surely embark on an unprecedented glory. Sharingan is the power to reflect the heart. The stronger the heart, the greater the power of the Sharingan. Unfortunately, he is just an ordinary person. Perhaps I can learn about him, if he has the talent to become a ninja. In some places, I can help him. Think and do it. That night, Itachi used Anbu's identity to find information about Gaiwu. After finding all the information about Gaiwu, Uchiha Itachi went back to his room and carefully checked the relevant information. The battlefield orphan brought back by Lord 4th Generation. Since he is a boy valued by Lord 4th Generation, he must have the talent to become a ninja. So, maybe I can help him get a powerful force. Gaiwu, who was fighting with Kakashi at Minato's house, suddenly sneezed. At the moment when the sneeze came out, chakra suddenly flowed uncontrollably and converged towards the eyes. This is, my time and space ability is about to awaken. Feeling that the secret of the eyes would be revealed, Gaiwu closed his eyes and jumped out of the window. I suddenly remembered that there are still ingredients in the store that have not been processed, and I will be back soon. Minato, Kakashi and Kushina stared blankly at Gaiwu, who jumped out of the window. Everyone present knew that Gaiwu had chakra, so he would definitely be fine if he jumped. And he is also busy with things in the store, this is his job. Alas, Gaiwu sometimes forgets things too. Minato sighed. You are not the same. Kushina said angrily. Minato said with embarrassment, isn't it because I'm too busy? Kakashi said softly. The business in the store is so hot today that even I don't have much time to rest. Gaiwu stays in the kitchen all day, he's working hard, I'll help him. Go, be careful, Kushina said softly. The moment Gaiwu jumped from the window, a little white snake lying outside Minato's window discovered his whereabouts. In order not to be perceived by Minato and Kushina, the little white snake crawled far away, out of Kushina's perception range. Only pass what you see to Orochimaru. Orochimaru, who was experimenting with the living corpse reincarnation, looked up sharply. A cold look flashed in his eyes. After waiting for so many days, he finally went out alone. I've been waiting for this day for too long. Order the little white snake to follow Gaiwu. Orochimaru leaves the underground test base. In the laboratory next door, lay a girl. There is a curse mark of 3 rounds of jade on her neck. Enko would moan from time to time in pain. But no one cared about her pain. She suffers alone in this unmanned laboratory. No one knows, and no one cares about her. Just because there is a will in my heart. The will that must be recognized by the teacher. She persisted and survived. She knew and felt the people in the lab who were killed by Orochimaru's experiments. But because she was also being tested, she couldn't move at all. She knows everything, but she has no power to change it. Gaiwu didn't rush in the direction of the store. It's a downtown area. I don't know what my own time and space ability is like. If there is a big commotion, it will not only destroy his small shop. Forcibly controlled chakra and rushed to a place where no one was there. In Konoha village, there is only one place where no one is. As the place where Chunin started the second trial. Death Forest. When the Chunin exam is not open, this place is closed and no one is allowed to approach. No one will rush into this dangerous forest. After determining the direction, he forcibly suppressed the somewhat uncontrolled chakra in his body. Gaiwu rushed to the Death Forest with the fastest speed. Gaiwu, what's wrong with you? Kakashi was much faster than Gaiwu. After discovering that Gaiwu was not rushing towards the small shop, he knew that something bad must have happened. Take me to the Forest of Death. Is full trust in Kakashi Gaiwu. It doesn't matter if he knows that he owns the Jugoryu reincarnation Sharingan. He will never tell anyone, not even Minato. Kakashi was stunned for a moment, but didn't say much, and led Gaiwu to the direction of the Death Forest at full speed. Into the depths of the Dead Forest. Gaiwu no longer suppresses chakra in the body. All the chakra in the body gathered towards the eyes. Eye pupils turned into 9 Gyu reincarnation Sharingan state. Kakashi stared blankly into Gaiwu's eyes. The pupil power released from those eyes make him feel cold all over. The powerful pupil power made it very difficult for him to breathe. It becomes very difficult to move. The shadow of death enveloped his whole body, and Kakashi moved hard to stay away from Gaiwu. But I found that my body was out of control at all. The pupil power released from those eyes made his body very stiff. Looking at Gaiwu with fear on his face, he said tremblingly, this is. The fear of death made him tremble all over. Chakra is running. Gaiwu looks at the place where the right hand is toggled. The square-like time and space receded in all directions. Wonkwan Hirazaka, Gaiwu exclaimed. This kind of time and space ability is very advanced. You can freely travel through any time and space. As long as someone uses the time and space ability in front of him, he can mark his time and space, thereby opening up his time and space and entering into it. Looking at all the people who have the ability of time and space, there are only 2 people who can use Wonkwan Bilyangsaka. Otsutsuki Arashiki and Otsutsuki Kagaya. Taking a deep breath, suppressing the urge to travel through time and space, Gaiwu retracted chakra. There is no chakra left near the eyes, and the pupils have returned to normal. Just now when Wonkwan Bilyangsaka was opened, chakra consumed more than half of it. One Chunin's chakra is only enough to open the underworld Birasaka for less than a minute. It is indeed an advanced space-time ability. Powerful power means that the consumption of chakra is also huge. However, a new question arose in Gaiwu's mind. Although Wonkwan Bilyangsaka has a very advanced time and space ability, but it's not a unique ability. Both Otsutsuki Kagaya and Otsutsuki Ura can use Wonkwan Hirazaka. This can only be regarded as an advanced general ability. The low-level universal abilities are those of Shinluo Tianzhang that all Rinnegans can use. Otsutsuki Kagaya's Rinnegan unique ability is space. She has 7 time spaces that belong to her, and everything in the space is created by her. It is the ability that others do not have. Like Sasuke's Sky Hand Power and Uchiha Madara's Wheel Tomb. This ability that no one else has is also unique to Rinnegan. Sharingan is the power to reflect the mind, and each person's Mangekyo Sharingan ability will be different. Rinnegan, as a more advanced pupil technique, will definitely have a unique ability that reflects the heart and belongs to him. What is your own Rinnegan unique ability? Didn't think about it. Just like Wonkwan Hirasaka, when the time comes, your own unique ability will naturally awaken. Sensing something wrong with Kakashi next to him, Gaiwu turned and looked at him. Oh, sighed lightly, staring at Kakashi and said in a deep voice, "You've seen it all." Kakashi nodded blankly. "Your eyes. This is Jugoryu reincarnation Sharingan," Gaiwu said in a deep voice. Jugoryu reincarnation Sharingan. Kakashi heaved a sigh of relief. Because Gaiwu didn't hide anything from himself, he told himself the name of the eyes. It means that he has not deceived himself all this time, but just wanted to hide his ability. Gaiwu stared at Kakashi and said in a deep voice, "This is a more advanced pupil technique than Sharingan. Among all pupil techniques, Jugoyu reincarnation Sharingan is the most advanced." Kakashi nodded and didn't ask any more questions. Everyone has their own privacy. Gaiwu asked him to bring him to the Death Forest, so he never thought of hiding his pupil technique from himself. He will always be part of the Minato family, the big brother who can take care of himself in life. Gaiwu also has the most powerful pupil art in the world, which can also protect himself in battle. Can be protected in any way. It feels so good. He has no blood relationship with himself, but he takes care of him more than his blood-related brothers. Suddenly, Kakashi's nose twitched a few times, and he flashed in front of Gaiwu, staring in one direction. "Kunai is already in my hand," staring at a certain place, and shouted in a deep voice, "Who?" Although Gaiwu's fighting ability is stronger than himself, he has no fighting experience. With him standing behind him, no matter how powerful the enemy is, Kakashi dares to fight him head-on. Gaiwu cursed secretly. Opening Wonkwan Bilyongsaka consumes a lot of chakra. The enemy has come, there is no time to recover chakra. Even this time has been hard to refine chakra. The time to practice is only more than a month, and having a chakra equivalent to Chunin is already a super effect brought by the 9 Guyu reincarnation Sharingan. "Kakashi-kun, I didn't expect to meet you on this occasion." Orochimaru came out from the forest. Under the moonlight, there was a chill in his snake-like eyes. "Orochimaru-san, what are you doing here?" Although it was the seniors from Konoha village who appeared, Kakashi didn't let up. This behavior of coming without warning has already exposed his bad intentions. And there was a clear killing intent in his eyes. He is here to kill one of the legendary Sannin. I am not his opponent. Cold sweat trickled down his cheeks. I'm very interested in the kid behind you, and I want to take him to a place and have a few words with him. As soon as Orochimaru's voice fell, Kakashi had completed the seal. Fire style Great Fireball technique. This is the ninjutsu he can perform the fastest. Flames gushed out of his mouth, heading straight for Orochimaru. Everything encountered along the way is set on fire. Orochimaru's expression froze, and he said with a sneer, "Even I dare not accept this level of ninjutsu." Both feet turned into snake tails, swimming quickly on the ground, and soon escaped from the range covered by the flame stream. Universal pull. However, Orochimaru was still swimming when he suddenly felt a suction sweeping through his body. The body soars uncontrollably. The direction of the flight scared him to pieces. The flames of the great fireball are streaming. Gaiwu didn't know when to change direction, and stood diagonally opposite to a stream of flames. Wanting to forcibly control his body, Orochimaru found that he couldn't control it no matter what. There was absolutely no way to resist the suction. The body was brought by the suction force and crashed into the stream of flames. Bone-piercing burns came from all over the skin. The suction force that he couldn't break free also disappeared at this time. Flames swept across his body, and he could inhale a large amount of flames with every breath. Resisting the severe pain, Orochimaru opened his mouth wide, and stretched out his hands from the innermost part. Soon, Orochimaru completes the molt, scanning the audience, only to find that only Kakashi is still there, and Gaiwu has disappeared. "Orochimaru-san, goodbye." Kakashi waved his right hand lightly. The body burst into a puff of smoke and disappeared. Shadow clone. Orochimaru growled while looking at the cloud of smoke. Was put together. Both Kakashi and Gaiwu's chakra are far inferior to their own, so they can only use this harassment tactic to prevent themselves from fighting them head-on. Take the opportunity to escape from the scene. Orochimaru knew Kakashi's speed, and he had already taken Gaiwu out of the Death Forest at this time. There's no point in chasing them. Fighting them in the village will alarm Namikaze Minato. 4th generation. That's someone I dare not provoke. A sharp tongue circled around his lips. The excitement in the eyes is getting stronger and stronger. His ability is really strange, it can make me completely unable to control my body. This is not the ability of ordinary ninjutsu. What kind of thing does he have that can create such an effect? Mr. Gaiwu, I'm getting more and more curious about you. It's fine if you're obedient, but don't blame me for being cruel if you push me into a hurry. The more interested in Gaiwu, the less Orochimaru wanted to share the information he got with others. A person like Gaiwu should only be in his hands. Whether it's taking his body, or manipulating him, making him do things for himself. It's 100 times better than sharing his intelligence with others. Good things should be kept to themselves. Only some leftovers from the experiment can be shared with others. Especially Danzo, that greedy guy, once he told Gaiwu's information. With his position in Konoha, Gaiwu can be forcibly brought into the root organization. At that time, I lost a very important test material. Hey, I'll catch you one day. I will definitely understand your abilities. Universal pull. I remember the name of your technique. What kind of blood follower can use this ninjutsu? I will investigate it soon. Orochimaru's investigation is doomed to futility. There is no mention of the Rinnegan's abilities anywhere. Looking at Konoha village, which was flickering around, Kakashi heaved a sigh of relief. Fortunately, he didn't come after me. Orochimaru is one of the legendary Sannin. Kakashi has self-knowledge. Facing such a character, he can only escape as quickly as possible. Without Gaiwu's universal pull, it is absolutely impossible for me to be Orochimaru's opponent. His ability to escape the envelope of the Great Fireball means that he can escape from most of his ninjutsu. And the strongest ninjutsu created by myself, Reikiri. With Orochimaru's shedding ability, it is estimated that he cannot be killed. With the current chakra, Reikiri can only be used twice. If you miss or don't kill Orochimaru, neither you nor Gaiwu can escape. Gaiwu smiled and said, "Don't worry. Orochimaru won't dare to do anything once he gets to a place with people." Now Orochimaru, his experiment has not been completed. Leaving Konoha means the loss of a lot of experimental data. Orochimaru would never leave until he had finished it, or hadn't been cornered. Gaiwu had no intention of exposing Orochimaru's experiment. With the cover of the third generation, the person who exposed himself and was arrested will definitely not be Orochimaru. Gaiwu doesn't want to go to Konoha's interrogation room. Anyway, it won't be long before the Orochimaru story comes to light. No need to get yourself into trouble. Continuing to run his own small shop is the right way. Gaiwu doesn't bother to take care of other things as long as they don't encounter them head-on. Not to mention, now this chakra can't control anything. Wonkwon Bilyongsaka can only be driven for 1 minute, and it cannot be used for anything other than escaping. Shenluo Tianjiang, Universal Pull, and Planetary Devastation all consume a lot of chakra. After about half a year, chakra is basically enough. If things like today had happened at that time, Orochimaru would not have escaped. Kakashi nodded in agreement. Look, Orochimaru doesn't want to make a big deal, so you should pay more attention in the future. Don't be alone. At the teacher's house, he will never dare to touch you. The reason why Gaiwu was targeted by Orochimaru is basically needless to think about. It must be because of the special power of his eyes. Those peculiar eyes, I can feel the powerful pupil power just by looking at them, but I can't move. Someone like Orochimaru, who will do anything in pursuit of power, will definitely be interested in Gaiwu's eyes. Gaiwu said helplessly, "If I hadn't awakened a new ability tonight, why would I leave suddenly?" Suddenly, Gaiwu thought of something and looked at Kakashi with a weird smile on his face. "Kakashi, do you want some snake soup?" Hearing this, Kakashi immediately realized what Gaiwu was talking about and shook his head quickly. "No, with our abilities, it is impossible to defeat Orochimaru." Gaiwu patted him on the head angrily. "You are stupid. Who said we are going to copy Orochimaru's lair? I was spotted by Orochimaru just after I left Minato-san's house. That is to say, I'm going to eat this snake soup," Kakashi said heavily. Orochimaru's sudden appearance frightened him a lot, and he couldn't beat Orochimaru himself. Getting the snake he used to monitor Minato's house for dinner, and dinner can also express this bad breath. Kakashi is okay, then no problem. You can have a delicious snake soup tonight. The last time I fried Orochimaru's little white snake, it was purely because Orochimaru regarded himself as an ordinary person. Moreover, he did not expect that there was a calamus behind the bar. It was only when he lost his mind that he fried his little white snake. This time, when he was prepared, it was completely impossible for him to catch his little white snake without using the Jugoyu Rinnegan. It's different with Kakashi in the shot. He can definitely catch it with his hands. Last time it was thrown into the trash after frying. This time he used his little white snake to stew snake soup, and invited Minato and Kushina to have a hearty meal. Surely Orochimaru will be pissed off. Talk. Wild snake stewed old hen soup is of great benefit to pregnant women. The legendary dragon and phoenix soup. Thinking of this, Gaiwu couldn't help drooling. That is a very nourishing and delicious dish. You catch the snake, I'll steal the old hen. Gaiwu quickly made up his mind. Regardless of what Kakashi thought, he ran towards the small shop. Kakashi didn't react for a while, and stared blankly at the direction Gaiwu left. Stealing an old hen. If the teacher finds out about this, you will have to suffer a meal of fried meat with bamboo sticks. Ah, ha, I'm inexplicably looking forward to it. Kakashi's schadenfreude. Gaiwu is unaware. Not long after, Gaiwu returned to Minato's house with an old hen. And Minato and Kushina looked at a live little white snake that Kakashi was holding in his hands. Dazed in a daze. Gaiwu, what's going on? Minato looked at Gaiwu in a daze. Konoha has lived for so long, how could he not know about Orochimaru's signboard? White snake. The entire Konoha, owned by no one but Orochimaru. This kind of characteristic little snake is hard to see in the natural environment. Gaiwu pretended not to know anything. He smiled and said, when we went back to the store just now, we found such a little snake. It also looks like it weighs 3 catties, so it would be a waste to throw it away. Kushina-san, during pregnancy, you need to take a lot of supplements. Dragon and phoenix soup. It is stewed old hen with wild snake. It is a very famous dish in our hometown, and I happen to be able to cook it too. It is the best to replenish Kushina's body. Minato always felt that the whole person was not well. That is a white snake bred by Orochimaru, one of the Sannin. There are many uses. Spy on the enemy. There is still a certain fighting power. This kind of snake can be regarded as a ninja snake. The ninja snake that Orochimaru worked so hard to cultivate is just like this being used by you to make soup. Is this kind of thing okay? But, this is. Before Minato finished speaking, Kushina's fist landed on his head. The red hair flutters automatically. Clenched fists tightly. The veins on the arms popped up. Kushina glared at Minato. You mean Naruto in my stomach and my body are not that important? Minato shuddered, his desire to survive slowed down, and he hurriedly took 2 steps back. No, no, no. I didn't mean that. Your nutrition is the most important thing. If it's really good for your body, I'll catch a snake like this for you every day and come back to make soup for you to nourish your body. It's more or less the same. Kushina's fire came and went quickly. Looking at Gaiwu, he smiled and said, go now. I can't wait to eat the dragon and phoenix soup you made. Minato didn't dare to meet Kushina's gaze, and looked at the old hen in Gaiwu's hand. I thought to myself, at this time, all the shops in Konoha are closed, where did he find this old hen? I thought about it but didn't dare to say it. Kushina's fist is still clenched. If you ask this out, several gourd bags will grow on your head. Gaiwu beckoned to Kakashi, and the two entered the kitchen together. Facing the little white snake, Gaiwu sneered. This time, you put your snake in the pot for stewing, and next time, you, the big snake, will be put in the pot. After speaking, he raised the knife and cut open the belly of the little white snake, quickly cleaning the internal organs. Cut off the head of the poisonous snake. The poisonous part of the snake is the poison sac, which surrounds the snake's snout, and the rest of the snake is non-toxic. And, Lion Majesty is fresher and tastier than soup without Lion Majesty. Konoha somewhere. Orochimaru's eyes radiated a terrifying murderous intent. Don't think that if you can escape from me once, you can escape the second time. The next shot will definitely be fatal. I won't give you a chance to struggle. Lion Majesty's prey is absolutely impossible to escape. Dare to kill my ninja, and use it to make soup. Gaiwu, you managed to piss me off. I will never die with you. One of the dignified Sannin. Threatened by a 5-year-old. Orochimaru is angry. Very, very angry. Since practicing, I have never encountered such a bad thing. The first time it was fried, a little white snake was thrown away as garbage. The second time someone caught a little white snake stewing soup. This is the little white snake that I worked so hard to cultivate. Each one has spent a lot of thought and infused chakra cultivation. Just like that, 2 of them were killed by a 5-year-old boy. The anger in my heart can be imagined. It was already 10 o'clock at night, and no one in Minato's house was asleep. Gaiwu, are you ready? Kushina asked impatiently. Still cooking, she could already smell the aroma coming from the pot. The glutton was already jumping up in his stomach. She couldn't sit still. He paced back and forth in the hall, occasionally glancing into the kitchen. Kushina, don't be so anxious, it will be fine soon. Seeing that she was in such a hurry, Minato quickly persuaded her. In fact, his eyes looked into the kitchen from time to time. As calm as he was, the smell from the kitchen whetted his appetite. Kakashi was sitting on the sofa, staring straight at the kitchen, chopsticks and bowl already in hand. Since I was a child, I have never smelled such a delicious food. Really, it's better to be a younger brother. With such a big brother to take care of, I don't have to think about anything, and I can still enjoy endless food. Such a life is really too happy. To be a big brother is to be like Gaiwu. There are 18 kinds of martial arts in the kitchen. You don't need to say much in battle, you know how to cooperate with yourself. Things in the kitchen are far worse than Gaiwu's. Fighting, never mind, my little combat experience is meaningless in the face of Gaiwu's incomparable ability. It is the wisest choice for Anan to be a younger brother with peace of mind and enjoy all aspects of care from him. Mr. Gaiwu, are you ready? Are you ready soon? Kushina couldn't wait any longer, and rushed into the kitchen to look at the stew pot that was emitting a fragrance. Gaiwu shook his hand and pointed to the sofa outside. He said softly, just another half an hour. It's still half an hour. Kushina's miserable howl resounded through the house. 11 o'clock. Kushina lay down on the sofa while stroking her swollen belly. The whole body reveals the meaning of laziness and overeating. Minato was honestly washing dishes in the kitchen. Originally Kakashi wanted to wash, since he broke several bowls last time. Minato no longer allowed him to enter such a place as the kitchen. Gaiwu and Kakashi look at the empty saucepan. Not even a shred of meat could be found. A snake weighing more than 3 catties, plus an old hen, probably entered Kushina's stomach. The 3 men will share the pitiful 20%. To this day, Kakashi still holds the pair of chopsticks in his mouth, reminiscing about the taste of the pot of dragon and phoenix soup just now. Gaiwu turned to look at Kakashi. Kakashi, is the dragon and phoenix soup delicious? Although he had made dragon and phoenix soup before, Gaiwu never thought of it. The dragon and phoenix soup stewed with Orochimaru's small white snake will be so fresh. In the previous world, there was no way to taste such a delicious fresh soup. Kakashi nodded vigorously. There is no doubt about that. Kushina couldn't stop eating, and even borrowed her special status as a pregnant woman to keep others from touching her. The 3 men were so fooled by her and the woman that they could only hold their bowls and look at the dragon and phoenix soup in the pot. I want to eat but dare not violate Kushina. Gaiwu encouraged Kakashi with a smile. Do you still want to eat? Of course I want to eat. Minato's voice came from the side. I want more. Kushina also heard the muttering of the 2, raised her hand and shouted. Gaiwu stared blankly at the 2 people. Originally, he just wanted to encourage Kakashi to go to Orochimaru to steal the snake, but he didn't expect Minato to be tempted. Then don't be too funny. Minato, the matter of the snake is entrusted to you, it must be a snake like today. Kushina shouted. She naturally knew who that snake came from. It is obviously inappropriate for Gaiwu and Kakashi to steal snakes from him. Only Minato goes to Orochimaru to get the snake as a breeze and there are no consequences. Hey, Gaiwu looked at Kakashi and smiled with raised eyebrows. Understood, Kakashi said loudly. The matter of stealing the snake was left to Minato. So, the matter of stealing the old hen is his own. Gaiwu has already stolen once, and with his level of physical skills, it is very likely that he will be exposed. With my own speed and physical skill level, it is the easiest to catch an old hen. It is impossible to be discovered. For that pot of fragrant dragon and phoenix soup. It is impossible for the whole Konoha to have the deliciousness that other people can enjoy. So what if you let go of your identity as a Jonin and steal a few old hens? As a result of Kushina's overeating, Minato accompanies her for a walk outside. Minato, I feel that Orochimaru has bad intentions for Gaiwu. Kushina is a person with a clear mind. It doesn't matter if Gaiwu is talking about the little white snake caught from his shop, or from other places. Both directly address a problem. It's the little white snake watching him. Only Orochimaru has that kind of little white snake in Konoha, and no one else has it. Minato's expression became serious, and he nodded seriously. Yes. I thought of that too. Gaiwu is my family, I will never allow anyone to hurt him. No matter what secrets Gaiwu hides, he is sincere to us. Bet on Hokage's name and never let anyone hurt him. A 5-year-old can cook something like that. It is impossible to say that he has no secrets. As for the secrets of his own family, Minato didn't have the heart to inquire. As long as Gaiwu is happy, nothing matters. He will say what he can say. What can't be said must also take into account the impact on the entire family. Although he has only a 5-year-old body, he has a very mature mind. He will never do anything that doesn't make sense. Kushina leaned on Minato's shoulder and said softly, "Thank you. It's great to have you." At this moment, Kushina's heartbeat suddenly increased, and her face became ugly. Doda's cold sweat flowed down his cheeks. "Kushina." Minato hurriedly supported her. Stretching out the left hand and pressing on her abdomen, chakra moved, aggravating the seal. The seal is aggravated and Kushina's look returns to normal. Looking at Minato with a look of reluctance on his face, "Minato. I feel that the seal is getting weaker and weaker. Nine-Tails chakra hits the seal more and more frequently." Minato said seriously. "With me by your side, you will never let that happen." Kushina snuggled into Minato's arms. "Minato. I have a hunch that when Naruto was born." Before she finished speaking, Minato held her mouth. "Bet the name of Hokage. You will definitely watch Naruto grow up with him. There are 2 big brothers of Naruto at home, and they will grow up with him. Whether they cause trouble or practice seriously, I will never let any accident happen to you." At the same time, Minato's house, Gaiwu, who was refining chakra, felt some kind of chakra attraction. This feeling, Gaiwu looked out the window, looking for somewhere downstairs. However, nothing was found. Although he had never seen Nine-Tails chakra before, Gaiwu felt it at that moment. That's the chakra leaked when Nine-Tails breached the seal. That is, at that moment, I had a strong desire for Nine-Tails chakra. From Nine-Tails chakra Rinnegan's craving for Nine-Tails chakra. Nine-Tails chakra works great on its own. Back on the bed, Gaiwu closed his eyes and practiced seriously. It is only 5 months since Naruto was born. At that time Obito will definitely come to Konoha to make trouble. Already in this family, I can't ignore the matter of Minato and Kushina. Combine that with Rinnegan's reaction to Nine-Tails chakra, and you have to go all out for that one. Chakra is fundamental. Without enough chakra, Naruto himself couldn't help much when he was born. In 5 months, enough chakra should be extracted. You must also come up with a surefire strategy. Can't expose yourself. There must also be no surprises for Minato and Kushina. Running that small shop is my original intention and the basis for enjoying a comfortable life. Never expose yourself for anything. Even when Minato has absolute control over Konoha, Gaiwu doesn't want to expose his ability. While he won't impose any responsibility on himself, let him know what he's capable of. I always feel that it is unreasonable not to help him on the bright side. Non-vegetation, ruthless practice makes perfect. How Minato treats him, Gaiwu knows very well. It's fine to act in secret like now, without being exposed on the bright side, and you don't need to jump out. Early the next morning, Minato finished signing in at the Hokage building and left the matter to Sarutobi Hiruzen. Anyway, he is the one in charge now. Minato knows that he is just a person standing in front of Sarutobi Hiruzen. Sarutobi Hiruzen still decides the big and small things in Konoha village. This is too far from the dream of being a Hokage. The huge psychological gap made Minato not too concerned about Hokage's position. It's different if you have full permissions. After leaving the Hokage building, Minato headed straight for Orochimaru's exposed test base. The pot of dragon and phoenix soup last night was really delicious. As soon as he reached Orochimaru's base, Minato sensed the presence of a small white snake. Immediately dodged over, grabbed it, picked it up and observed it carefully. At this time, Orochimaru also saw Minato's actions through the little white snake. Confused. What's going on? Minato, who never came to my place, came to me today. Minato looked at the little white snake carefully, and the little white snake looked at him with a message. It weighs about 5 catties. You can have a good meal tonight. Orochimaru, who was elsewhere, heard this and smashed the chair he was sitting on with one punch. Namikaze Minato, you are too deceitful. I really think this is your vegetable market. Did you cook and eat the ninja snake that I worked so hard to cultivate? After the words fell, Orochimaru had already rushed towards the base. There are dozens of little white snakes like that in that base monitoring other places. With the current situation of Namikaze Minato, it is very possible to catch all the little white snakes. If that's the case, Orochimaru is about to vomit blood. The little white snake cultivated at a huge cost has become food on other people's tables. Nima, just thinking about it makes me feel that my temper is going to explode. On the way to the base, I passed the eyes of the little white snake. Orochimaru saw that the little white snakes monitoring the base were packed by Minato into a bag he had prepared in advance. Mentality completely exploded. Now Minato feels like a little girl picking mushrooms. When you meet a little white snake, you pick it up and put it in the bag he prepared in advance. A few minutes later, Orochimaru stormed into his base, watching Minato with a cold face. He shouted in a deep voice, "Fourth generation. What are you doing?" Minato weighed his bag, and there were already a dozen small white snakes weighing an average of 5 catties in it. Lion Majesty biting happened recently in the village. As Hokage, I have to think about the safety of the villagers. Whether there is a Lion Majesty biting incident in the village does not concern Minato, it is Sarutobi Hiruzen's business. But Minato was sure that Orochimaru could not know what was going on in the village. Orochimaru exploded in place. Nima, labor and management are ninjas. Will they attack the people in the village without my order? You shouldn't come to me when something like that happens. You should look outside the village. Those wild snakes hurt people. It is impossible for your own ninja to hurt people. But, the person in front of you is 4th Hokage. While he doesn't actually hold power, his Flying Thunder God technique and Rasengan aren't built. If I fight with him, all the previous hiding will be in vain. 4th generation, you have to be clear, these are ninja snakes that I have worked so hard to cultivate. Without my order, they can't hurt people. Orochimaru-san, please don't get excited, I'm just taking these snakes back to collect venom samples. If they are really different from the biting Lion Majesty in the village, I will definitely return these snakes to you. Minato said with a harmless face. Orochimaru swears angrily. Uncle Nee, I said it when I caught the snake just now. A snake weighing 5 catties is enough for you to have a full meal. Telling such nonsense here now, bluffing children. Do I Orochimaru look like a 3-year-old? Can you fool me with a few simple words? Minato said casually, Orochimaru-san. For the safety of the villagers, and for the safety of your experiment. These Lion Majesty venom samples, I'm definitely going to take them. Orochimaru's fists are tightly clenched. Minato was telling himself that it was useless to say anything, he must take those little white snakes back to collect venom samples. Return. Orochimaru didn't even think about it. They are just a few ninja snakes, even if they are killed by Minato while collecting venom, I have nothing to say. With intense hatred projected in his eyes, he stared at Minato. A sharp tongue circled around his lips. Orochimaru wants to kill Namikaze Minato right now. But, that's impossible. With his time and space ability, there is nothing I can do about him. And, he mentioned his experiment. That is something that should never be exposed. Once exposed, all of his living corpse reincarnation materials will be made public. The once legendary Sannin will become the murderer of hundreds of missing children in Konoha. Does Namikaze Minato know anything? Can't be exposed. Don't be impulsive. The most important plan must not be destroyed because of a few ninja snakes. Living corpse reincarnation is the ninjutsu that you can use to live forever. The research has reached the most important stage, and it must not be destroyed because of this trivial matter. Minato weighed the bag a few times, squinted his eyes slightly and said, Orochimaru-san. I'll take these snakes home today. If the collection of venom samples is not enough, I will come to find a few more in a few days. Whoa, 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 Orochimaru gasped in anger. His fists and veins bulged. Glaring, The hands have turned into two giant lion majesty. Just waiting for Orochimaru to bite Minato with an idea. These two lion majesty look fierce, more like lion majesty that will actively attack villagers. Orochimaru-san, I think you should give me these two lion majesties. Minato is totally fearless. In other words, he came to pick things up today. He knew nothing about Orochimaru's experiments. However, based on his knowledge of Orochimaru, the experiment he conducted was definitely not a good thing. Deliberately bringing out his experiment to make side effects is just to know. Did he really conduct any experiments? Or how far can he endure for the ongoing experiment? From the previous patients, Minato has seen that Orochimaru is really conducting some kind of ulterior experiment. Further provocation. Further provoking Orochimaru's nerves. I just want to know how much he values this experiment. The more he valued the test, the more he could endure it. That probably means something. His experiments must not be exposed. Once exposed, it is impossible for him to stay in Konoha. Further provocation is a must. Namikaze Minato, you're too much of a bully. Orochimaru growled in a low voice. If he is sure to kill Namikaze Minato instantly, he will definitely make the first move. Don't give him a chance to speak. However, Orochimaru doesn't have that certainty. There is no one who can kill Namikaze Minato. His escape speed is unmatched in the world. Pissed him off. He can leave a flying thunder god imprint on the base and come whenever he wants. I can't stop him at all. Nor can it cause any hindrance to his actions. Time and space ninjutsu. What a disgusting ninjutsu. And it happened to be in the hands of a person who made him so uncomfortable. Minato deliberately lifted the bag of snakes to challenge Orochimaru's bottom line. He said with an innocent face, Orochimaru-san, I'm thinking about the safety of the villagers. It's also for your experiment consideration. Once any vicious species rushes into your laboratory, it will destroy your ongoing experiments. All your previous work will be in vain. I'm doing Hokage duty to protect you and all the villagers of Konoha village. Hiss. Orochimaru took a long breath. Minato's high-sounding words forced Orochimaru to suppress his fury. He was right. Once something destroys the experiment and leads to wasting all previous efforts, the loss will be too great. Namikaze Minato. The Green Mountains remain unchanged, and the green waters flow forever. We will meet again in the future. That last sentence, which Orochimaru bit too hard, was clearly a warning to Minato not to go too far. Seeing Orochimaru disappear, Minato's expression also became serious. Mumbling, he is really conducting some kind of harmful experiment, why didn't Lord Third Generation investigate him? Another place. Kakashi looked at the hens in the vegetable market in trouble. Last night Gaiwu had already told him how to tell the difference between a pullet and an old hen. These in the vegetable market, no matter how you look at it, are small hens. According to Gaiwu, the soup made by young hens is not as thick as that made by older hens. Although there is only one word difference, the taste is thousands of miles apart. Longfang soup must be stewed by an old hen for more than 3 years to make the most delicious soup. This is going to be difficult. Kakashi scratched his hair with a constipated look on his face. Really steal it? I am a dignified Jonin to steal someone else's old hen. How does this feel? It's so awkward. Father, please tell me what to do. Kakashi, who was struggling inside, looked at the sky and sighed. In a daze, Kakashi walked on the roof. Cluck, clack. Suddenly, there was a burst of cheerful voice that instantly revived Kakashi. Falling into deep confusion, he immediately found the right direction. Gaiwu obviously possesses special abilities, and his fighting power will only be stronger than his own. But I have no intention of being a ninja at all. The so-called Jonin is not as good as a snack in his eyes. With his guidance, Kakashi immediately knew what to do. My eyes were fixed on the old hen, but I found that it was far away and I couldn't see clearly. Push the forehead protector up, and chakra runs on the left eye. Sharingan. With Sharingan as the blood succession limit, Kakashi immediately saw the hen that had just laid eggs. The condition of the feathers, as well as the condition of its comb, are exactly the same as those of the 3-year-old hen described by Gaiwu. Sharingan also saw something more detailed. This is what I want. He jumped up and rushed into the yard. Catch that old hen with lightning speed. He also took away the 3 eggs laid by the old hen. He ran until Kakashi outside the village before stopping. Flop, flop, the beating of the heart brings about the strong secretion of hormones. A feeling of euphoria. Kakashi was overwhelmed. Looking at the old hen in his hand that was grabbed by the neck and could not make a sound. There was a smile on the corner of his mouth, and he muttered, "It's such an exciting feeling. It's even more exciting than when I developed Chidori. Why do you feel this way? Why would I look forward to stealing an old hen a second time? It's over. My dignified name of Konoha's elite Jonin is about to be completely over." Kakashi, who was stealing a chicken for the first time, carefully hid the old hen. 1 step and 3 observations, even Sharingan is used. Avoid any Konoha villagers you might come across. If they found him with an old hen in his arms, his reputation would be ruined. Originally, it took a few minutes to return to Minato's house, but this time it took a full 2 hours to return to Minato's house. Kushina looked at Kakashi, who was hiding his head and showing his tail with a dazed expression. "Kakashi, what's wrong with you?" Kakashi took out the old hen from his bosom, and 3 eggs. Kushina was excited in an instant, jumped up and ran to Kakashi's side, carefully studying the old hen he was holding in his hand. "Whoa, Kakashi, you're awesome, getting an old hen so fast." Boom. Kakashi felt like a thunderbolt. Purchase. Why didn't it occur to me to buy an old hen? Why should I steal like Gaiwu? Why would I do something like this? My goodness. First name. Just because an old hen was ruined. Why, it didn't occur to me to buy an old hen. Gaiwu said steal. I really went to steal an old hen. Why did I listen to him so much? Why would I do something like this? Seeing that Kakashi looked wrong, Kushina called out softly. "Kakashi, Kakashi." However, no matter how much she shouted, Kakashi couldn't hear her. "Autistic. How nice to buy one. Why do you want to steal? My first name. My thoughts have been taken into the ditch by Gaiwu. Doing exactly what he does. I am elite Jonin Kakashi. Autistic. Kakashi, what's wrong with you?" Kushina shouted anxiously. However, no matter how much she yelled, it was useless. Kakashi closed herself because of her one sentence. Minato came back at this time. Seeing Kakashi standing there blankly, he asked doubtfully, "What's wrong with Kakashi?" Kushina said with a confused face, "I was quite excited when I came back, and I don't know what happened, but it suddenly became like this." Minato asked doubtfully, "You were very excited when you came back?" Kushina nodded and said affirmatively, "Yes. When he came back, he was very excited. I just said one thing, bought an old hen so soon, and he became like this." Minato understands in seconds. Although he is also a well-behaved child, he has heard a lot of boys' nonsense. Ha 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 ha, ha 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 ha. Immediately I couldn't stand up laughing. "What are you laughing at?" Kushina asked in a daze. Minato stopped laughing, motioned for Kushina to come over, and whispered what Kakashi had done in her ear. Kushina looked at Minato with a face full of disbelief. His brain has shut down. She never thought that Kakashi would steal something. Stealing intelligence on the battlefield is the duty. And stealing chickens in life. Wahahaha. Kushina laughed more presumptuously than Minato. Almost rolled on the ground. Especially, she thought of what Kakashi said herself when he came back. At this moment, she already understood why Kakashi became like this. Just because of what he thought was normal, he gave Kakashi the strongest critical blow. He is completely autistic. Shish. Kakashi is already in a bad situation, it's too much for us to laugh at him. Minato said softly. However, there was an uncontrollable smile on the corner of his mouth. "Minato, help me out, let me laugh outside for 30 minutes. Kushina said with difficulty. Minato's eyes lit up. Yup, laughing at home will make Kakashi more autistic, and it's fine to go outside, since he can't hear it anyway. The young couple walked out immediately. 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Gaiwu finished the business of the shop and returned home. All of a sudden, he felt as if someone was missing from the family. On closer inspection, Kakashi is not there. Looking at Minato, he wondered, "Minato-san. Where's Kakashi?" It stands to reason that he should have come back earlier than himself. He didn't ask him to help in the store today, just let him steal an old hen. He should have been back long ago. Why can't I see anyone now? Are you going to perform some mission? Minato pointed to Kakashi's room and said softly, "You did a good job." Gaiwu looked confused. What good thing have I done? Suddenly, Gaiwu understood. But he didn't laugh at anything. Stealing an old hen was nothing more than a normal thing for him. It's just that in the eyes of these ninjas who value honor more than life, that's not the case. Walk into Kakashi's room and look at Kakashi, who is hiding under the quilt. Sitting on the edge of the bed, he whispered, as the thorn stimulating. Kakashi in the blanket shivered and wrapped the blanket tighter. This kind of thing is familiar once and twice, and it will be fine after a few more times. Just like you are holding the little H book that makes out with heaven every day. In the beginning, there must have been a psychological burden. After watching a lot, the thrill-seeking heart overwhelmed the sense of glory. We are here to help you. It is not good for the body to watch too much intimacy in heaven. Stealing a few more old hens will be of great benefit to your health. It not only increases your amount of exercise, but also keeps your nerves tensed all the time. The reaction speed is definitely several times faster than usual. If you sense any trouble, you will definitely flee the scene as quickly as possible. It can also train your movement speed. You should do more of this kind of good thing that kills multiple birds. Gaiwu didn't say these words. In the original book, because of the departure of Obito and Nohara Rin, Kakashi was addicted to the heaven of intimacy and even forgot to find his wife. We take you out of the pain of their departure and point you to another path to excitement. It's all for your own good. You can't waste my painstaking efforts on me. Kakashi, it's okay, it's just an old hen. At worst, you can go and pay the money tomorrow. As the voice fell, Kakashi rushed out from the bed. Why, I've already stolen other people's old hen, now I pay for it, don't I deliver it myself? No, I can't do such stupid things. The fact that I stole the chicken must not be known by anyone. It must be the elite ninja Kakashi, not the chicken-stealing ninja Kakashi. Okay, Gaiwu made an okay gesture. Minato-san caught a lot of little white snakes back, we can have a full meal tonight, come and help. Although the kitchen is your enemy, your skill in killing snakes is not bad, which can save me a lot of work. Kakashi immediately turned over and got up, hid behind Gaiwu and went outside. Although Gaiwu's 5-year-old body is much shorter than him. But this is the ostrich psychology, feeling that no one can see you if someone is covering you in front of you. His deceitful behavior almost made Minato and Kushina laugh. The two held back their laughter, but their stomachs were already in pain. Seeing the snake bag that Minato put in the kitchen, Gaiwu looked at him with surprise. Minato-san, you didn't catch all the snakes in a base in Orochimaru, did you? Did Orochimaru bother you? Minato said confidently. I'm just here to pick things up. Gaiwu's heart trembled. He couldn't understand why Minato went to the Orochimaru base to pick trouble. With his intelligence, he must have guessed that the little white snake last night was used by Orochimaru to spy on him. Just because he was being watched by Orochimaru, he deliberately went to Orochimaru's base to pick trouble today. For himself he can offend the legendary Sannin. Chapter 41. He can ignore Hokage's responsibility for his own sake. In order to get back to himself and take revenge on Orochimaru, he offended him to death. Gaiwu knew that Orochimaru would defect soon. Minato doesn't know. That is Konoha legend Sannin, one of the most powerful people in Konoha. Any high-level Konoha will only make friends with him. Even Sarutobi Hiruzen knew a little about his inhuman experiment, so he didn't dare to act excessively. Even as Orochimaru's teacher, Sarutobi Hiruzen tried his best to help him wipe off his tail because of his status in Konoha. To date, hundreds of children have gone missing in the village, but they were all suppressed or diverted by Sarutobi Hiruzen. Just because of himself, Minato offended him to death. This camaraderie, too heavy, thank you, Gaiwu said softly, and quietly wiped away something that slipped from the corner of his eyes. Not to mention this world, even the previous world, no one can do this for themselves. Minato pressed Gaiwu's head, a sunny smile appeared on his face. You are my family, no matter who makes things difficult for you, I will fight him to the end. I am Hokage, I am the father of this family. It is my duty to protect you. Kakashi stared blankly at Minato. He is the father of the family. The word father is too strong. But Kakashi feels that it is not bad to have such a father. This is what home feels like. There is Big Brother. There are mothers, and the father who resisted all the wind and rain for the family. We are not related by blood. Gaiwu muttered softly, and quickly grabbed a lion majesty from the bag. With a swing of the knife, the little white snake was disemboweled, and the little white snake's head was cut off by the way. Grabbing the neck and tearing it hard, the snake's skin was torn off by him. The whole movement was done in one go, and it was completed in less than a minute. Minato exited the kitchen with a smile. This is Gaiwu's territory, and he is the one to make the decisions. Just watch from the sidelines. Minato didn't care about what Gaiwu said. His quick action of killing the snake was to cover up his inner excitement. Minato could still see this. 12 small white snakes weighing 5 catties, 5 of which were lost by Gaiwu in one dinner. Not only dragon and phoenix soup, but all kinds of delicacies were brought to the table by Gaiwu. All 4 members of the family were full, and Minato had to use Shadow Clone to wash the dishes. The daily training of a ninja consumes a lot of physical energy and requires a lot of nutrition. Although I am full now, as long as I do a little exercise, it will be absorbed quickly. So, in the evening Minato took Kakashi to train him at the training ground. Gaiwu and Kushina watched from the sidelines. No one expected Gaiwu to become a ninja. He didn't have this idea, and there was no need to force such a thing on him. He likes a quiet life, and everyone tries their best to give him a quiet life. There is no need to impose on him the ninjas fighting and killing. After a battle, Minato looked at Kakashi with a smile and said, "Kakashi, your chakra has increased a lot." Kakashi was brought out by him alone, and no one knows Kakashi better than him. Today's battle is obviously longer than before, and Kakashi is not so tired. Kakashi himself felt that today's training was different from the past. It's not enough to use a few ninjutsu before. The number of ninjutsu used today is much more than usual, and I still feel that chakra has a surplus. Chakra condensation isn't enhanced these days either. And the chakra consumption of Sharingan is also there. But it is obvious that chakra is improving rapidly. Gaiwu said softly, it should be the reason why he ate ninja. Orochimaru's ninja snake was cultivated by him at great cost. Not only is the meat delicious, but also added a lot of strange substances to facilitate his manipulation. The so-called strange substances are Hashirama cells. The god of ninja stuff can be used in all kinds of ways and is a treasure that everyone in the world of Hokage wants. It's no surprise that it speeds up chakra extraction. Looking at the original characters that Gaiwu knows, no one who joins the Hashirama cell will lack chakra. Gaiwu knew it in his heart, but he didn't explain it to them. No need to spell it out, as long as they refine chakra at a faster rate. Only Orochimaru, a Frankenstein, can produce unlimited Hashirama cells. Enough to make an arm for Danzo. You can also inject some into his ninja, so that he can control those ninja. And Hashirama cells contribute to the degree of fusion of Kakashi and Sharingan. The more you eat, the higher the degree of integration between Sharingan and him, and the stronger the power that Sharingan can exert. But he is not the Uchiha family after all, and it is impossible to achieve the perfect fusion like Uchiha. Gaiwu himself felt that the speed of chakra refining in the past 2 days was nearly twice as fast as before. Minato and Kakashi thought about it carefully, and both felt that what Gaiwu said made sense. In the past 2 days, except for eating Orochimaru's ninja snake, nothing strange happened. Minato smiled and said, it seems that I will visit Orochimaru's base more often in the future. Root base. Danzo stared at the root ninja kneeling in front of him. His brows were tightly furrowed, and his expression became a little weird. Reconfirmation. Minato went to Orochimaru's base. The root ninja kneeling in front of him said quickly. It's true, I was in charge of monitoring Orochimaru's base on the bright side, and I hid in the dark and saw Master 4th Generation enter Orochimaru's base with my own eyes. As for what happened in the base, I dare not follow in. Danzo didn't blame the root ninja. Whether it's Minato or Orochimaru, if you get too close, you can spot him with a little effort. It would be wise not to follow through. Once he monitored the Orochimaru base, Orochimaru knew about it. There is no way to cooperate happily. He glanced at his right arm, and the Sharingan inside was all helped by Orochimaru. If it weren't for Orochimaru himself, he wouldn't have the ability he has now. He waved his hand, motioning the root ninja in front of him to quit. Frowning at the ceiling. Did Minato discover something? As a person, he shouldn't be the type who likes to inquire about the secrets of Konoha. If he didn't find out, he certainly wouldn't have gone to Orochimaru base to investigate. That fool Orochimaru, 4th Hokage Minato went to his base to investigate and didn't tell me anything. I have absolutely no idea what happened. The hand holding the cane was slowly clenched. He doesn't like the feeling of losing control over a thing. Especially Orochimaru, that madman. For his experiment, he can ignore life and do whatever he wants, without caring about Konoha's attitude at all. The 4th generation went to his base to investigate, but did not explain to himself. Obviously, Orochimaru's experiment was so close to success that he didn't need his own help. Danzo is upset about losing control of Orochimaru. Without his own hidden support, his experiment could not have been carried out to this point. Looks like I should talk to Orochimaru, Danzo muttered darkly. All the while he didn't see Orochimaru as a partner. Just think of him as a minion a little bit more advanced than Root Ninja. Not giving him a curse mark is the greatest tolerance for him. 4th generation went to his base, such an important matter, he didn't tell himself. Danzo, who is used to having absolute control over his subordinates, is very upset. Walk out of the root base slowly and walk towards the base where Orochimaru is. Seeing Danzo walk in through the eyes of the little white snake, Orochimaru, who was experimenting, had a look of displeasure. He never liked Danzo as a person. If it's not necessary for the experiment, I don't want to deal with his ambitious man. Stop the experiment at hand. Orochimaru. Seeing Orochimaru come out to meet him, Danzo looked at him with one cold eye. Master Danzo, what gust of wind brought you here? There was no politeness in the words. No respect for Danzo either. Over the years Orochimaru has gotten used to it. Danzo felt uncomfortable when he heard it. Holding down the restlessness in his heart, Danzo stared at Orochimaru and said in a deep voice, "What is Minato doing at your base?" Things have come to this point, and Danzo has no intention of hiding anything from Orochimaru. And, with Orochimaru's abilities, he must have found the root ninja he sent to spy on him. The sharp tongue twirled around the lips, and Orochimaru's expression became grim. Previously knew you had root ninjas spying on my base. Even though he was a partner, Orochimaru didn't take such things to heart. Why didn't he get something to spy on Danzo? Orochimaru has never been a person who would leave his fate in other people's hands. Everyone knows these things, everyone tacitly, no one will care. Now it's clear. Talk to yourself in that tone again. This is the attitude towards subordinates. Danzo. Don't think I'm calling you sir. You can float. I, Orochimaru, cannot be anyone's subordinate. Spreading his hands, he said indifferently, who knows? He just walked around my base and left. You know who I am, a character like 4th Hokage that I can't kill, and I can't deal with. I never want to meet him. A few words of nonsense, who is afraid of whom? It is impossible to tell Danzo about the festival between himself and Minato. That would bring Gaiwu out. The secrets in him can only be obtained by oneself. Absolutely impossible to share with Danzo. Two people who are not of the same heart, the more important something is, the less likely it is to share it with Danzo. Danzo's pupils shrank, and his anger burst out faintly. Orochimaru. You're just playing me off. Orochimaru said in a deep voice, Danzo. I never had to tell you everything. I don't know what Namikaze Minato wants to do, you can ask him if you have the ability. I'm not a slut, I can't do it. Namikaze Minato wants to come to me to throw fire. You have found the wrong person. You. Danzo couldn't suppress his anger at last. The crutch pointed directly at Orochimaru, pinched the left hand, and was about to start ninjutsu. Orochimaru's sharp tongue rolled around his lips, his eyes became extremely cold. Interesting. Want to fight me? Danzo. I warn you in advance, others don't know your ability, but I know it very well. Don't forget, I transplanted your arm to you. It's just an Izanagi. How can you get me? Danzo's offensive ninjutsu is only wind style, and he is not good at other offensive ninjutsu. And Orochimaru has been studying ninjutsu since a long time ago, and has made countless modifications to his body. What he is good at is not just snake ninjutsu. Just get used to it. It doesn't mean he doesn't know other ninjutsu. It is the easiest thing for him to restrain Danzo's wind style. Although Izanagi is awesome, it is only limited to being unkillable, it does not have any attack ability. Once Izanagi's time is over, Danzo is not even as good as Kakashi. Only one wind style ninjutsu can be used for combat, supplemented by Izanagi to save his life. Orochimaru didn't pay attention to Danzo's ability at all. Hiss. Danzo took a deep breath, suppressing the anger in his heart. Izanagi was created for him by Orochimaru, how long it will be used, and what kind of seal will be opened. Orochimaru is very clear, he can eat himself to death. And wind style ninjutsu. Danzo knew that his wind style ninjutsu was not good enough to tickle Orochimaru. Strength. With just one Izanagi and wind style ninjutsu, his own strength is too far behind. Danzo doesn't want to do anything that Orochimaru can't do anymore, like today. You do it yourself. Come to Shingshi to inquire about the crime. But was forced away by Orochimaru with a strong posture. Danzo has never been so useless in his ninja career for so many years. It's okay to be overwhelmed by Sarutobi Hiruzen, but also overwhelmed by Orochimaru, a junior. Even Namikaze Minato's green head made him helpless. I can't even think of questioning him. One-handed flying thunder god used it superbly. Rasengan came with a raised hand. I don't even need to touch his side. And when he wanted to attack him in close quarters, it was as easy as eating and drinking water. Izanagi is strong, but there is nothing he can do about this kind of person with ultimate speed. Opened, he can harass infinitely, so that he has no chance to stop. When Izanagi's time came, he was the lamb to be slaughtered. Closed, he can send himself to heaven with a single Rasengan. As soon as wind style spat out, he moved away before touching him. In the next instant, he could definitely appear behind him. One Rasengan to end the fight. When Namikaze Minato is the fourth Hokage, Danzo doesn't even dare to fart. Strength. Looking at Konoha's previous Hokages, his own strength can't even be ranked at the bottom. Even if Sarutobi Hiruzen doesn't know that he has Izanagi's ability, given his mastery of ninjutsu. All kinds of long-range attacks, I have no chance to get close at all. Never before has Danzo's pursuit of strength been so strong. And being able to be the fastest is also the way to improve your strength in the shortest time. Only one. Go back to the base. A man wearing an Anbu mask walks in. Seeing this mask, Danzo's pupils shrank suddenly. The strength I need is in this person. Master Danzo, I'm here to report something to you. Shisui knelt on one knee and said in a deep voice. Shisui, say it. This moment, Danzo had already started plotting how to take the man's eyes. The strongest illusion. Distinguished heavenly gods. Just have that power. Whether it was Orochimaru, Namikaze Minato, or Sarutobi Hiruzen, they all lost the confidence to shout in front of themselves. Distinguished heavenly gods. An illusion more powerful than Izanagi. A look can make the opponent obey his orders. It can also attack enemies from far away. The strongest illusion ever. Master Danzo, do you think I should follow up and investigate? Shisui, who had already reported Gaiwu's matter, looked at Danzo and said. Although he is just a very ordinary shop owner. But Shisui saw another side of Gaiwu. He has a very big influence on Itachi's heart. During these 2 days, Shisui clearly felt that Itachi was a little alienated from him. Some things he followed his own suggestion on the surface, but implemented it in his own way. This was completely unimaginable before. Itachi is such a well-behaved and obedient person. He ate food in that small shop a few times, and his whole body changed a lot. Such an important matter must be reported to Danzo, of course. However, Danzo didn't hear a word he said. He was concentrating on planning how to get Shisui's eyes. Danzo is an old fox after all, although he didn't understand what Shisui said earlier. But it doesn't prevent him from stabilizing Shisui's heart now. Go, this is your duty, it's what you should do. Finish tracking and monitoring, write me a report. Hi, Shisui did not doubt him, and after answering Danzo, he walked away. Gaiwu is just an ordinary person. Kakashi is also just an elite jonin with a Sharingan. It doesn't take much effort to monitor such two people. Not to mention, Gaiwu's small shop does not accept any customers. Even if he sits in his shop and eats, Gaiwu will not drive himself out. Compared with other tasks, this task is the easiest task in Shisui's life. Although Gaiwu is just an ordinary person, Shisui feels that he is not ordinary at all. He is the only person in this world who can change Itachi with 2 snacks. As for the extent to which Itachi was changed by Gaiwu, and what methods were used to change him, Shisui doesn't know all about it. I just hope that after monitoring Gaiwu for a period of time, I can know the reason. Uchiha Itachi is a good boy. His future is destined to be brilliant. His thinking is also different. He should go his own way and not be influenced by others. Arrive at the store. Still overcrowded. Now it's not just people from the 3 Inoshika-cho families who enjoy Gaiwu's snacks. People from those 3 families often come to Gaiwu to eat, which naturally drives his business. All the clans in Konoha learned of the existence of Gaiwu's shop, and they all came to try his snacks. I can't stop eating this one. As long as the store is open, there will be people standing outside. The Ichiraku ramen restaurant next to it was also influenced by Gaiwu, and its business has improved many times. It is not much worse than before the Third World War. Kakashi Ni-chan. A guest is coming. Calamus has become Gaiwu's little fangirl. As soon as Gaiwu opened the door, she left Ichiraku and came here to help. Although she's only 3 years old, it doesn't help much. But it can help greet customers in the store. When someone came, she would call out, "Oh." Kakashi, who had just served the dishes to other tables, hurriedly greeted the customers who entered the store. Seeing this person, there was a hint of displeasure in his eyes. Because Gaiwu doesn't like this person. But he has already won the true biography of Gaiwu. Whoever comes as a guest. Welcome. What do you need? Shisui glanced at Kakashi. There was no place to sit inside or outside the store. After receiving the recipe handed over by Kakashi, Shisui looked at it for a while and chose a few at random. Although seriously doubting Gaiwu's personality, his snacks are really good. The plate of snacks that day looked a bit heart-wrenching, but it tasted delicious. Kakashi writes down what Shisui ordered and gives it to Gaiwu in the kitchen. Now there is no place in the store. If you want to enjoy delicious food in a good environment, I can only pack it for you. This is the way Kakashi learned from Gaiwu to drive away customers. Shisui shook his head. It's okay. I'll just sit here and eat. Joke. I was here to monitor Gaiwu, so how can I monitor him when I pack it back? Kakashi said nothing more. This kind of persuasive guest obviously has other plans. Shisui is a drunkard who doesn't want to drink, he has other goals. After saying a word like everyone else, I packed it up and ate it. After all, no one wants to squat somewhere in the store and eat like a beggar. After that, Kakashi said no more. It's not for nothing that Anbu spent so long. Those things taught by Minato have not been returned to the teacher. Elite Jonin is earned by ability, not because of Mr. Minato. Since Shisui wants to monitor Gaiwu, he will counter-monitor him. It depends on who has the stronger surveillance ability, and whoever sees through whose thoughts first. In such a competition, Kakashi thought he would not lose. After all, I was underestimated by Shisui. There is such a reason in it. If you want to take the opportunity to learn about Shisui's information, it will be easier for yourself. Gaiwu finished today's snacks, walked out of the kitchen, and saw Shisui leaning against the wall with the snacks. He froze for a moment, but didn't say much. With his mind, he immediately realized why Shisui came to his shop alone. Gaiwu is very happy about his arrival. That means Itachi has changed under his guidance. Otherwise, it is impossible for Shisui to appear in his store. Just like Uchiha Itachi's only recognized elder brother is Uchiha Shisui. Itachi is the only younger brother recognized by Shisui. Itachi has undergone some unexpected changes, and he must investigate himself, the instigator. Glanced quietly at Kakashi. Kakashi felt Gaiwu's gaze, but didn't look back. Just nodded slightly. A smile appeared on Gaiwu's face. Spy on each other. Interesting. Gaiwu glanced at the customers in and out of the store, and said apologetically. Guests. That's all for today's portion. When I grow up, the daily supply will increase. Repeat this sentence every day. Gaiwu didn't take it to heart. As a store owner, there is no way to limit the supply every day. Who would have thought that his small shop would become so popular in such a short period of time? The money owed to Minato has already been earned enough, and the money has been returned to him. Everything in the store is now their own. The landlord didn't know where he went, and he shouldn't regret it after 3 years of rent-free rent. It doesn't matter even if you regret it, the business is so good, you still have to pay the rent that should be paid. If you make money yourself, you can't let others drink the northwest wind. Sit behind the bar and tease the calamus chick. I just hope this chick grows up soon, she's too young to be fun now. Shisui sensed what was going on behind the bar. His expression became serious. No matter how one perceives it, this is a very ordinary boy, without anything special about him. Not even a little chakra. Although he has a good physique, he doesn't have the heart to become a strong man. A waste of talent. I don't know how such a person changed Itachi. I need to find a chance to have a good chat with Itachi. He is a genius. He is Uchiha's elite, and Konoha's elite. Heir to the will of fire. He must not be influenced by some ordinary people in his thinking. After dozens of minutes, the customers in the store left one after another. Shisui also knew that he couldn't stay any longer, so he left the shop pretending nothing happened. After everyone left, Gaiwu immediately returned the calamus girl to Ichiraku. And Kakashi closed the shop. The two left the shop sneakily. Seeing their expressions in the distance, Shisui immediately regained his spirits. In the name of Shisui, I will definitely find out your secrets. In the next moment, Shisui disappeared, and no one knew of his existence after several trips. It's very easy to keep up with Kakashi and Gaiwu. Gaiwu and Kakashi tiptoe on the roof. How about that hen? Kakashi looked at a hen hopping in the yard in the distance, and asked in a low voice. It's still close, find the next one. Gaiwu just glanced at it, and felt that the hen hadn't reached the age he needed. Led by Kakashi, the two jumped and tossed back and forth across the roof. Not long after the two left, Shisui landed where they were before. After distinguishing the direction, they quickly determined where Kakashi and Gaiwu were looking. There are a few hens jumping in that yard. The other things in the yard are some trees and flowers, nothing unusual. Shisui did not give up, and Jia Yin performed sensory ninjutsu. Even the Sharingan was used to carefully distinguish everything in that yard. The hidden formation was not found. Neither does chakra. Everything is very peaceful, nothing expected at all. A face full of question marks appeared on Shisui. It shouldn't be. With the abilities of Kakashi and Gaiwu, they shouldn't be looking at these ordinary things. Shisui couldn't imagine that Kakashi and Gaiwu's goal was those hens. It's just that Gaiwu doesn't want to deal with them because the year is still a little short. With question marks in his heart, Shisui uses Sharingan and soon finds Kakashi and Gaiwu. Hastily cast the fastest speed to catch up. At this time, Kakashi and Gaiwu are running away in a hurry. Gaiwu does not have chakra, nor has he practiced taijutsu, and the run on the roof is completely led by Kakashi. At this time, Gaiwu's arms were bulging, and there seemed to be something struggling in his clothes. Shisui regained his energy immediately, running chakra in his eyes, and softly shouted, Sharingan. Sharingan has the ability to see through chakra, and soon sees what is in Gaiwu's arms. Moment. Shisui stands on the spot. I have forgotten to keep following Kakashi and Gaiwu. Chicken. Gaiwu is holding a chicken in his arms. An elite jonin, a small shop owner with a booming business. After the two of them finished their day's work, they sneaked together to steal chickens. I am Nima. Is this kind of thing done by people of their status? What exactly is going on? The person who changed Itachi turned out to be a chicken thief. What happened during the time when I left Konoha to perform the mission? An elite jonin going to steal a chicken. This completely subverted my perception of elite jonin. The unwilling Shisui decided to keep following them. There must be something special about this hen. It is absolutely impossible for ordinary people to influence and change Itachi. It is even more impossible to be a chicken thief. Speed up and catch up with Kakashi and Gaiwu. Gaiwu, who was led away by Kakashi, smiled and said, as the thorn stimulating. Kakashi's heart was pounding, and he didn't care about Gaiwu at all. Even though it was the second time he had done this kind of thing, he couldn't control his mood. Not to mention, this time I came with Gaiwu. His ability cannot be exposed, he can only pretend to be an ordinary person with a blank board. Take him stealing chickens in other people's yards. So much pressure, Kakashi felt more stressed than dealing with an army of ninjas. Hey, you're going in the wrong direction. Seeing Kakashi rushing straight out of the village, Gaiwu shouted hastily. However, Kakashi still didn't answer him with half a sentence. After getting out of Konoha, Kakashi stopped after running a long distance. Gaiwu said with an unhappy face, "Hey, Kakashi, it's not the first time you've done something like this. Do you need to be so excited?" Ha, ha. At this moment, Kakashi could only calm down his excited mood by panting heavily. With his strength, he will run at full speed in Konoha village for 3 days and 3 nights with Gaiwu without getting tired. This chakra consumption is nothing to him. Mainly. Obviously it can be bought with money. Why do we have to steal it? Kakashi couldn't help but question Gaiwu loudly. Gaiwu grinned and said softly, "Is it exciting?" Kakashi's expression froze, recalling the feeling of stealing chicken with Gaiwu. Although he wanted to deny it, he felt that he had absolutely no reason to deny it. The moment he rushed into the courtyard with Gaiwu, his heart beat 120 miles. The hormones are secreted in large quantities, and the whole body and mind are extremely excited. Especially, Sharingan also saw that the owner of the yard was in the next room. At that moment, Kakashi felt like his heart was about to jump out. Nodding unobtrusively, stealing chicken is definitely a very exciting thing. I don't know what's going on with Gaiwu, it seems that I don't feel it at all. For myself, stealing an old hen is infinitely more exciting than facing any enemy. Gaiwu patted Kakashi on the shoulder with a smile. Forehead. The person is a little short, and he needs to stand on tiptoe to pat Kakashi's shoulder. 5 years old, 13. There is still a huge difference in height. That's it. Life would be boring without some exciting things. Although I pursue plainness, the seasoning of life still needs to be added. In the future, if we have something to do, we will go out for a walk, and if we see any free-range chickens, we will take one back. It's coming again, Kakashi said with wide-eyed eyes full of disbelief. Gaiwu shrugged his shoulders as a matter of course, of course. Stealing chickens is such an interesting thing, we must go to the end. When I grow up, our business will develop in other directions. Chicken, duck, and goose. These things are very good ingredients, and we will order a few if we have the chance. Kakashi shook his head very firmly. These 2 times are enough, he never wants to steal chickens from other people's yards behind Gaiwu's back. Gaiwu ignored his resistance, bowed his head and thought for a while, then suddenly stared at Kakashi with wide eyes. The Inuzuka family has a lot of ninja dogs, and they are all trained dogs. Stealing a few of them to cook dog meat hot pot seems to be a very meaningful thing. I am absolutely against it, Kakashi said loudly. Objection is invalid, Gaiwu said without hesitation. Kakashi shouted loudly. I also keep dogs, and I firmly oppose your attack on the dogs of the Inuzuka clan. For us, Ninja Dog is our partner, not an ingredient for hot pot. Seeing that Kakashi didn't take half a step back, Gaiwu hurriedly laughed. I'm just talking, and I don't really want to do it. Furthermore, my dream is to live an ordinary life. I will definitely not go to the Inuzuka clan's house to steal a dog. Kakashi was slightly relieved. As long as Gaiwu is sure that he will not steal the ninja dogs of the Inuzuka clan, then he can say anything. However, at this time, Gaiwu thought silently in his heart. I won't go. I can let you go, idiot Kakashi. By the way, ninja dogs are all intensively trained dogs. The meat must be very tight, and the chewing strength of the muscles will definitely be very good. Tomorrow, I must toss a ninja dog to the pot. Dog meat hot pot. That's a rare delicacy. Since we are in the world of Hokage, we must try all these delicacies. The Inuzuka family is really a wonderful family. Kakashi's mood is not completely stable yet. Gaiwu took out a handful of kunai from his ninja bag. Just shunned 2 hens in that yard. One is used to make dragon and phoenix soup, and the other is ready to be used to make beggar's chicken. The seasoning that needs to be added is ready when it leaves the small shop. Now it's just a matter of finding a place to fire. Kunai stabbed a hen's chest and cleaned it up. The prepared seasoning is stuffed into the belly of the hen. Tin foil is also ready. Seeing that there was no water around, Gaiwu looked at Kakashi and said, Kakashi, bring some water. Water-style water dragon bomb technique. Nima, Kakashi, you definitely did it on purpose. You asked me to bring you some water. A little water. Do you know how much a little water is? You give me a water dragon bomb technique, you want to murder my brother. That's a little water to me. Grass. Elite Jonin is amazing. Konoha's genin can slap thousands of elite Jonin to death. Is Konoha's genin so powerful? Don't you know the legend of Konoha? What legend? Wander casually when you meet Chunin, eat snacks when you meet Jonin, and run away when you meet genin. When did Konoha have such a legend? Why didn't I know? There are so many things you don't know. Although Shisui wasn't there, his Sharingan was the strongest in Konoha. You can see what Kakashi and Gaiwu are saying through the mouth shape. The whole person is already messed up in the wind. Standing blankly behind the tree is completely at a loss. Nima, these two guys really went to steal the chicken. Dignified elite Jonin, a little dignified boss. Isn't it easy to buy a chicken? Why do you want to steal? It seems that Gaiwu also wants to attack the ninja dogs of the Inuzuka clan. Naturally, with his ability, he can't beat those ninja dogs who have undergone intensive training. Only Kakashi can do this. Now, Shisui just wanted to jump out and ask. Kakashi, you are also a dog breeder, a ninja dog of the Inuzuka family, won't your heart ache? Where is your conscience? Have you been eaten by a dog? Even if he wanted to jump out and ask this question again, Shisui didn't do it. Like Itachi, Kakashi has been thoroughly influenced by Gaiwu. He is more serious than Itachi, to the point of being assimilated by Gaiwu. Put down Jonin's glory completely. What kind of power does this young man possess? It's okay to change Itachi, but it can have such a big impact on Kakashi. In the same village, he knows the legend about Kakashi. The former Kakashi, who followed the rules in everything, has completely disappeared. Now Kakashi, Shisui feels like he doesn't know him at all. Is this the power that Gaiwu possesses? It's incredible. His influence on Kakashi has surpassed the influence of the will of fire on Kakashi. Shisui can be sure, now what Gaiwu said is more useful in Kakashi's heart than what Hokage said. The power of this ordinary person makes one's heart tremble. His power is not the power shown in battle, but the power of the heart. As a member of the Uchiha clan, he understands the power of the heart better than anyone in the world. Sharingan is the power to reflect the heart. If Gaiwu had a pair of Sharingan, his pupil technique will be the strongest pupil technique in the world. The distinguished heavenly gods themselves will be far behind. Fortunately, he is not of the Uchiha clan, nor does he have a Sharingan. Otherwise, Konoha will not be Hokage's Konoha. It's Yuba Gaiwu's Konoha. Hiss. Shisui took a long breath in one breath. The strength of Gaiwu's heart made him feel scared. No matter how many enemies he faced on the battlefield, no matter how powerful the enemy was, he was never afraid. And saw the power of Gaiwu's heart. Shisui was scared. If Gaiwu is willing to toss Konoha, with his ability, he can definitely toss Konoha upside down. Fortunately, he doesn't want to be a ninja, he has no idea about it. I should feel grateful. Congrats to Konoha. Although he consciously knew all the information about Gaiwu, Shisui didn't intend to leave just like that. The task of monitoring Gaiwu will continue. Where does the power of his heart come from, one must understand clearly. Whether he has thoughts about Konoha cannot be concluded just because of the present. He is a dangerous man. He is the most dangerous person Shisui thinks he has ever met in his life. An hour later, the beggar chicken was roasted. Gaiwu grabbed another old hen, hugged the grilled unopened beggar chicken, and swaggered towards the Konoha gate. Hey, are you going back like this? Kakashi hurriedly stopped him. Of course, Gaiwu said as a matter of course. Kakashi shook his head, feeling that Gaiwu was hopeless. Stealing other people's things, but still entering the village with such a swagger. What a heart. Grabbed Gaiwu and rushed him to Minato's house at full speed. Gaiwu hurriedly said, Hey, if you are like this, even if we are not thieves, we will be considered thieves by others. Kakashi said with an unhappy face, I've become a thief. Gaiwu said with a sense of accomplishment, Isn't that what I led to spoil it? You. Kakashi was speechless by him. Why does he have such a sense of accomplishment when he brings himself down? Is this something the older brother of a family should do? Kakashi decided to ignore Gaiwu, and he would not listen to anything he said in the future. Gaiwu started his persuasion. I'm telling you, let's walk back swaggeringly, no one can say anything about us. If you rush back at full speed like this, anyone who sees it will think that something happened. Once it is investigated, we will not be able to escape the matter of stealing chickens. You are elite Jonin, this is something that the whole village knows. Take me, an ordinary person, and rush back at full speed, as long as anyone who senses it will think that something big happened. And we swaggered back and walked back, absolutely nothing happened. Even if I hold a chicken and hold a roasted beggar's chicken in my arms, no one will ask us a word. Because you are elite Jonin. Kakashi froze. Stop and think carefully. Looking at Gaiwu seriously, it makes sense. I am ashamed to say it. Because stealing the chicken has already messed up his heart. I didn't even think about such a basic thing. Still, Gaiwu, calm down. The best way to deal with it can be thought of at any time. Just listen to him. As soon as the words came out of his mouth, Kakashi realized that he was still wondering whether to listen to Gaiwu's words. Before turning his back, he felt that what he said made sense. When did I become so unsteady? Oh, Kakashi sighed softly, and followed behind Gaiwu obediently. The two walked into Konoha at a walking pace. Gaiwu also greeted the two gate gods of Konoha. A look like nothing happened. The roasted beggar chicken in his arms and the live hen in his hand seemed to not exist. And Kakashi can't wait to find a hole in the ground to get in, or just like Gaiwu. But he was worried that Orochimaru and Shisui, who were eyeing him, would do it at this time. No way, I can only follow Gaiwu. Arrive home. Today's Minato came back early just like yesterday. There's Sarutobi Hiruzen in charge, and he's a throwaway Hokage. The task was easier than before, and there was nothing left for him to handle. Now is the period when the 3 world wars have just ended and all countries are recuperating. He has more time to spend with Kushina and the 2 little ghosts in the family. We're back, Gaiwu said excitedly as soon as he entered the room. Retrofitting Kakashi has been very successful. As long as he was allowed to see something happen on the spot, under his instigation, his will of fire would be completely wiped out. From now on, he is Kakashi, Hatake Kakashi. No more Konoha's Kakashi. Not to mention Hatake Kakashi, who inherited the will of fire. That thing will happen soon. Shisui returns to the village, and Danzo will soon have his hands on him. It's certainly not going to be easy for Danzo right now. The long-awaited position of Hokage was taken by Minato. Konoha has so many people who can deal with him. Izanagi says that he is strong but also strong, and that he is weak is also weak. Izanagi has no active attack ability. Compared to Sharingan's other abilities, it can only play a role of surprise. If you have prepared in advance and know Danzo's Izanagi, his ability will have no effect. Even if he has only a little more chakra than Chunin now, he has a way to kill Danzo. Another great dinner. The whole family was full again. This time, Gaiwu did not accompany Kakashi and the others to go outside to train to digest food. Go back to your room to refine the chakra. Shisui's incident is about to happen. Without enough chakra, I don't even have the qualifications to watch the battle. 10 days in a row. Shisui comes to the shop every day to investigate Gaiwu. Until one day when he didn't come, Gaiwu immediately realized that something was about to happen. Danzo released a new mission for Shisui, in which he stole Shisui's eyes. Uchiha Station. Shisui smiled and looked at Itachi standing beside him. Itachi, Master Danzo has assigned me a mission. I hope you can help me continue with the previous mission. After these days of induction, Itachi seemed to show signs of returning to his original state. After all, it is still a matter of age. Even Itachi cannot avoid being affected by some meaningless things. As long as he continues to guide him, he will always be Konoha's Uchiha Itachi. What mission? Itachi asked softly. Shisui's expression became serious, and he looked at Itachi seriously. I know. This task is a bit cruel for you. In your opinion, Gaiwu is your friend. In my opinion, he is a dangerous element. I've been monitoring him for the past few days. This is a task approved by Master Danzo. A look of displeasure flashed in Itachi's eyes. Although I haven't visited Gaiwu's small shop these days. But I can't recall the silent communication with him all the time. Whatever you think. Thinking about where to put it, Itachi felt that what Gaiwu analyzed for him was the most correct. It is also a path that I will definitely walk in the future. Hearing Shisui say that now, I couldn't be happier. There is no excitement and joy of accepting the task before Master Danzo, Itachi muttered softly. This matter must be told to Gaiwu through silent communication. He cannot be left in a passive position. Don't let him be unprepared. Compared to Shisui, Itachi felt that he knew Danzo better. Shisui sits between Hokage, Danzo and Uchiha. Also because of his reputation, he is often assigned missions to go out. The contact time with Danzo is not very long. And myself, living under Danzo's nose almost every day, he definitely knows more about him than Shisui. Danzo is a careerist, not strong enough, an ambitious man who can only hide in the dark. A bad old man who has made no achievements in his life, but keeps staring at Hokage's position. The mission he sent out was definitely not a good mission. Want to persuade Shisui. Itachi found that he couldn't find a way to persuade Shisui at all. He loves Konoha deeply, and believes in the mission sent by Konoha's senior management. Everything is for Konoha peace. He can betray Uchiha for Konoha peace. I told myself that when the conflict between Konoha and Uchiha cannot be reconciled, I will use distinguished heavenly gods to change Uchiha's mind. Such a thing, if not betrayal, what is it? I am Uchiha myself. Always Uchiha, never betray Uchiha, and Shisui. For the peace of Konoha, he would rather sacrifice the Uchiha clan. In his world, Konoha's peace is above all else. If I hadn't experienced the silent communication with Gaiwu, I would have believed in Shisui's words. That means, one day in the future, I will follow Shisui's will. Betray Uchiha. Thinking of this, Itachi felt a chill down his spine. Such things as betraying the clansmen. Why can Shisui speak so righteously? To him, all you need is a simple reason to betray your clansmen. Simple enough to make you laugh. Konoha, Konoha's peace. Is Konoha's peace that important? Can be above the clan that gave birth to you? Why did Shisui have such an idea? Why does the elder brother whom I have always respected and trusted have such thoughts? Uchiha, it's everything to me. Here are my roots. The blood comes from here. The body comes from here. Growth and all that comes from here. Impossible. Also never betray Uchiha. Gaiwu gave himself 6 or 4 points. That's not true. I am a person who belongs to Uchiha completely. Shisui's will is wrong. I can't go on his wrong path. Can't inherit his wrong will. Uchiha's future is decided by Uchiha, not by a single person. No one can do it. Including myself. Itachi looked at Shisui solemnly, and said softly, I'll continue your mission. Having been together for so many years, Itachi knows Shisui very well. He can't be persuaded, no one can change his mind in any aspect. This moment, Itachi suddenly understood the meaning of the special snack that Gaiwu made for Shisui. The glossy appearance represents Konoha. The constant pulling of gluten represents what Shisui is. He has always been a person who is difficult to kill the enemy. As long as he can talk to anyone, he will save the other person's life. The spikes on the gluten represent the murderous intent hidden in the bright and beautiful Konoha. The hidden murderous intent for the person who picked up that snack. What it represents is not a person, but a clan. Uchiha. Konoha hides murderous intentions against Uchiha. This is what Gaiwu wants to tell Shisui. Itachi's eyes widened. Wrong. That's not what Gaiwu wants to tell Shisui. Because Shisui's character is doomed that he can't understand it, and he won't accept any hints from Gaiwu. The person Gaiwu wants to convey that meaning to is himself. Understand this. Itachi was startled into a cold sweat. Fine, I reacted by myself. Konoha hides murderous intentions towards Uchiha, which means that she cannot have any revealing actions. Once exposed, you will face the assassination from Konoha. Walk slowly, walk aimlessly. Itachi's own special snack appeared in his mind, as well as Shisui's special snack. A smile appeared on the corner of his mouth. It turned out that I had misunderstood it all along. 64 points does not represent the relationship between Uchiha and Konoha. But my own heart. At that time, I had already wavered towards Konoha in my heart, and I was more inclined to Uchiha. Wanting to understand this, Itachi smiled and looked up at the sky. This little boss, I don't even know what to say about you. You don't have a Sharingan, but you have the ability to see through my heart. Although you are just an ordinary person, you know everything in the world like the back of your hand. I get it all. It's time to ask him for the next special snack. This time, what kind of problems will you, a 5-year-old little boss, ask me again? I'm really looking forward to it. Uchiha Itachi speeded up and ran towards Gaiwu's shop. The inner confusion is gone. My next time will be to fight for Uchiha. Fight for Uchiha with everything you have. However, when Itachi arrived at Gaiwu's shop, he found that his shop had closed early today. It shouldn't be. Itachi frowned. It stands to reason that he would not leave until he finished the ingredients. Although I didn't come to the shop to eat during this time, I have been paying attention to the development of the shop. He has a deep understanding of how Gaiwu operates. At this time, Gaiwu has already brought Kakashi out of Konoha. When you leave the village, you have nothing to worry about. Gaiwu opened Jugoyu Rinnegan. Under the control of Jugoyu Rinnegan, he soon found Shisui's trail. I specially brought Kakashi to witness this incident. He didn't want to save Shisui. To completely erase Kakashi's will of fire, he needs to see the dark side of Konoha. A Kakashi without the will of fire is a real Kakashi. It is his own Kakashi. This incident happened earlier than originally known. Coming to Konoha village by myself changed a lot of things. Kakashi let go of making out heaven and learned to steal cock. Minato and Kushina are definitely not dead. Bet on this pair of 9 Guyu Rinnegan, they must not die in the Nine Tails Rebellion. Itachi is also changing a little bit, and what will happen in the end is still unknown. All that is known is that these people have changed. And the chain reaction they caused the Shisui event to be brought forward. Gaiwu, what happened? Kakashi asked softly. Some distance away from the village, he opened the 9 Guyu Rinnegan. This means that anyone who sees his eyes will be killed by him. In order to prevent the fact that he possesses the pupil technique from leaking out. Gaiwu looked at Kakashi and said in a deep voice. Pack up your mood, I want you to see the dark side of Konoha. Let you know how the high-level Konoha uses the will of fire they preach. Kakashi trembled all over, unable to speak out of shock. The dark side of Konoha. He has always thought that Konoha is glorious and great, and never thought that Konoha would have a dark side. What Gaiwu said was absolutely true, he didn't need to lie to himself. In other words, I will see the dark side that really belongs to Konoha. What I never dared to imagine before, I will see it with my own eyes today. Kakashi felt that his mood became extremely tense at this moment. How to do? What kind of mood should I use to witness those things happen? With Gaiwu's character, he will never intervene in Konoha's fight. Bring yourself here, purely to be a bystander. And also, what subverts Kakashi's worldview the most is the phrase Gaiwu said that the Konoha executives use the will of fire. The will of fire is an idea, how can it be used by Konoha's high-level executives? If this idea is prepared by the upper level of Konoha for the people of the lower level of Konoha. Kakashi didn't dare to think about it anymore. He would rather believe that Gaiwu was lying to himself. I don't want to believe it either. The will of fire is used by Konoha's senior management to control people's hearts. Staring at a team below that was racing at full speed. The leader, Kakashi, knew him. It is Shisui who often comes to the store for snacks recently. What he actually did, Kakashi knew very well in his mind. It's here to spy on Gaiwu. Thanks to the recent mutual surveillance, Kakashi found out Shisui's perception range. It is now outside Shisui's perception range, waiting for something to happen to him. Shisui led the team to run at full speed, and soon arrived at the mission location, and was about to collect the mission items assigned by Danzo. Ninja Law, Seal of Self-Karma Curse. The 3 teammates who came with him injected chakra into the spell that had been prepared on the ground. The curse marks spread rapidly along Shisui's feet all over his body. He was imprisoned in place and could not move. At this moment, Shisui had difficulty even speaking. Eyes full of disbelief, he stared blankly at the 3 teammates around him. He never expected that what he encountered when he arrived at the mission destination turned out to be such a thing. Shisui. Danzo walked over with a cane step by step. If there is no ninja to control the seal of self-inflicted curse, it is to imprison the target's ability to move. And with ninja control, his chakra will also be imprisoned. At this time, Shisui has no ability to resist, he is a lamb waiting to be slaughtered. Immediately, the maximum strength improvement will be obtained, and Danzo is not in a hurry. No one will come to this place, and no one will know that he killed Shisui. His death would be an accident that no one knows the cause of. Danzo stared at Shisui, full of sarcasm. You are the Uchiha clan, it is evil. Your only value is to dedicate those eyes to me, so that I can have the power of distinguished heavenly gods. Victory is at hand. The thought of being in absolute control of everything in Orochimaru at once. Sarutobi Hiruzen and Namikaze Minato no longer have the ability to shout in front of themselves. Danzo was so excited that he couldn't help himself, and walked slowly towards Shisui step by step. Sitting on the Hokage position. Don the Hokage cloak. Put on the Hokage hat. Konoha's rock statue has herself on it. Imagining all this, Danzo's speed gradually increased. Uchiha is evil, they can't be under the Konoha clan forever. One day the conflict between Uchiha and Konoha is inevitable. You can't stop this conflict with your strength. Only me, with your power, coupled with my own status, I can end this conflict. Hearing this, Shisui's thoughts stopped, and he was running with all his strength, and Chakra, who was impacting the curse mark, also stopped. If you can exchange your own death for peace between Konoha and Uchiha, your own death is also worth it. All done. Isn't the direction of our efforts the peace between Konoha and Uchiha? After practicing hard for so many years, I have always been fighting for this goal. If Danzo could really do it, what does it matter if Uchiha Shisui dies? Danzo walked up to Shisui and grabbed his eyes with his left hand. A sneer appeared on the corner of his mouth. As long as Uchiha is killed, there will be no conflict between Konoha and Uchiha. Nani? Kakashi, who was on the distant hilltop, could make out what he was saying through Danzo's lip movements, froze. Kill Uchiha. That's Obito's clan. It was the family of best friends ever. Danzo actually wanted to kill them all. Is this the definition of Uchiha by the Konoha executives? Is this how Konoha's higher-ups resolve conflicts? What is the difference between this and Cloud Shinobi launching the Third Ninja War after expanding its armaments? It's all the behavior of the invaders. Konoha, who has always been considered glorious and great, actually hides such darkness. I hope everyone will support it and subscribe more.